for start of game. Start of game activation is... Okay, we're set. We are on.
I'm sorry, but these wrong answer of the game sponsors, these can't be real, yes? They're absurd. Look, if the price tag is high enough, I'll say whatever the hell you want, but I mean, come on.
Do you think you can cover just the last half of my shift for me?
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. Are you four part of a cult? Handle those screws carefully. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And the wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
The San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. So why not get started?
Get ready, time for question one.
First on the docket, Bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Player 2, watch that clock. Player 1. Sorry, no takebacks. Players 3 and 4. Let this be a lesson to you. Player 2. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, mama gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
Up next, his acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 4? Interesting choice. Players 2 and 3? Nobody picks that one. Player 1. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Say Hello To, brought to you by the letter U-nibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. 1. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! You just picked up an extra $1,000 for that. And yet, none of them have ever blinked. Open wide for Duck, Duck, Swan. Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Player 2, who's gonna get that screw? You yanked out your screw, you got us all excited, and then you just sat there. Lame. We'll try not to let that ruin the rest of the game. Player 4, sweet dreams. Player 3, any last words? Too late. Player 1, Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. 5 fingers! This one's called The Man in the Backwards Yellow Hat, and it's a dis or dat. Player 2, your score could use a hand. Why don't you play this one? I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Now the rest of you should listen carefully. Make your selections before Player 2, because if Player 2 gets it wrong, everyone who got it right will split the winnings. We good? Here we go. Peed in a mop bucket. Went to a Brazilian brothel. Forget George, I'm curious how someone could do this badly. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. Round 1 is complete, and Player 1 is ahead, and feeling pretty good right about now. Remember, I'm doubling the value of each question in Round 2. And remember, the wrong answer of the game is still out there waiting for you. All right, let's get back to it. Next, Dumber and Dumberer 2. So, there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Player 4. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Players 1, 2, and 3? No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won the greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This wrong answer of the game has earned you a sweet 8,000 clams. Well done.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Here we have Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Player 2, honest mistake. Players 1, 3, and 4. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah blah blah, he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Coming up, Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Player 1, you just got screwed, player 4. 5 seconds to pick an answer. Ouch, out of time. Player 1, that was a successful screw. Let's see if you can make this really hurt. Players 1, 2, and 3. That answer has a hole in it. Smart people choose this. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Here's one for you. Wine or lose? If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Player 4? Hate to disappoint you, but... wait, no I don't. Players 1, 2, and 3? This isn't going to go with dinner at all. It's so obvious. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Next up, I want to lick and roll all night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About... Oh, player 3, who's getting the screw job? My oh my, player 4, you're getting screwed. You've got 5 seconds to make a choice. Damn, that time just flew by. Superb screwing, player 3. Grab a few more bucks, why don't you? Player 1. Player 3. Good effort. Good effort. Player 2. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 big ones. Oh, do you need to be somewhere? My mistake. Here's your clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. Player one's got it! Player one, you